Okay, let's meet our guest for the podcast for this episode. It's Faz Ali from Goldstar Taxis who joins us. Hello, Faz.
How you doing, Kev? You okay?
I'm
Good
very
afternoon.
well.
Thanks
Good
for
to see
having
you.
me.
We've known each other a fair while. This is John Baker. Have you met John before?
No, first time.
Haven't met.
John. First
Haven't
time.
met.
Okay, well, I think you should shake hands.
Okay.
Pleased to meet you. The reason, Faz, we invited you onto this podcast, well, I want to talk taxis, and John and I were having a good old discussion about this. Taxis versus Uber. So, your opinions are sought. But I heard that you are being featured on The One Show.
That's correct.
On BBC One. Can we get a reason why you're on The One Show on BBC One?
The reason that is, Kev, there's a foundation called Think Pink, and that's a story of a Rosie May Foundation, and there's a lovely lady called Mary and her husband Graham, and there's a tragic story behind it. That's why there is a charity called Rosemary Foundation. And obviously we support the local community always, and we, especially in Peterborough, our local area, and we try our best to help anybody in need or anybody that needs help on a regular basis. And I came across a post regarding this Rosie May, and I looked into it and I read into the story, and I thought, we need this. We need to support this charity first, A, and B, we need female taxi drivers in Peterborough. In and around the UK, there's not many female taxi drivers, and the story behind that was to get female taxi drivers.
Okay, just pause because your phone's ringing. Is that the first time, John, that's ever happened on a podcast?
I think it is, but never mind. Oh, you're busy
you
guy.
got to the
You're a
point
busy
of
guy.
we need more female taxi
taxi
drivers, and I know that the explanation behind that comes from the backstory of how this charity set up. How are you finding more female taxi drivers in Peterborough? I mean, how many have you got, firstly?
Originally, we already had 3 female drivers working for us.
In a team of how many?
We had 3 already.
Yeah, 3 out of how many totally?
Total drivers,
Yeah.
so we got about 322 cars.
Okay. Whoa. 322 cars and only 3 female taxi
Yes.
drivers.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And we're the only firm in Peterborough
Crazy.
that's got female drivers.
Really?
Yes, we're the only firm.
It's-
There's probably 1-2 scattered about, but
Yeah,
the
but not
majority is Goldstar's known to obviously have female drivers.
So is that? Do you think that's through choice that females don't want to become taxi drivers, or do you think it's something that they don't think that they can do almost, or do you think it's just that it's just an unusual thing, really?
What it is people think it's a male-dominated taxi. The actual the
Industry,
process
yeah.
is. It is. I'll be honest with you. There is a lot of males all around UK.
So you're saying it is, but it shouldn't be?
It shouldn't be. It should be equal. It should be half or split or something like that. Because, like, I'll give you an example. There's single parents. There's parents obviously with kids and all that. They go on with their daily duties. So a single parent will just wake up around 7 o'clock, get their kids ready and take them to school. After 9 o'clock, they're fairly free. So they can come on the road for a few hours and then later on pick their kid up from school and drop them off, and then a few hours later on in the evening they can work also. This is the most comfortable thing about taxis. You can work whenever you feel like it.
So what are the benefits to not just Goldstar, but all of the taxi companies in Peterborough by increasing the number of female taxi drivers? Why is it important?
It's important. The reason is a lot of customers prefer a female driver picking them up, especially the old ears, the young customers, and many other customers. That we get a lot of requests for female passengers.
Did he just say the old dears?
I like it.
Nice phrase.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But I can imagine psychologically for a lot of women
Customers.
themselves. Yeah, I mean, seeing a female taxi driver, I guess some of them are quite surprised sometimes,
Yes,
aren't they?
yes,
That that they have that option.
We have a lovely lady working for us, Terry, and I would have brought her along, but she had a school job. She gets 10 to 15 requests a day.
So you can ring a taxi company up and say, please, may I request a female driver?
Yes, but the waiting time is going to be really long.
Because there's not enough of them.
Yes. So that's why we came into this and thought this is an open market and we want to go for it. And we want to support this charity. And
I want to just bring this story a bit closer together, because we mentioned the One Show, we mentioned this charity, we mentioned the importance of more female taxi drivers. Where does the One Show come into this? How come that they came and filmed you?
to be honest with you, what happened is through social media, Facebook.
But what is the story? Is the story that you are supporting the charity and you're looking for more female
Yes,
taxi drivers?
and
in essence,
the One Show is the first time it's ever come to a Think Pink event. Also, so Think Pink have done events in other cities. They've done it in Nottingham, they've done one in Newcastle, they one in Scotland. I think so, Scotland. There's another cab company there, and they never got this much publicity as we got. So Goldstar has got a lot of publicity because of social media, the power of social media. So a lot of people on the second day, they were asking us, can I have a female taxi driver? We were just saying, hang on, they're going through their process, they've got to pass their taxi test knowledge, college course, we have to sort a car out for them, they can put their own car in. There's so much towards it, and people are so excited about it. They're telling our drivers already about, when's a female going to come to pick us up? When's a female going to come to pick us up? So we're in our office, we're really buzzing about it, and we're trying our best to get things done quick as.
Okay. So what did they do when they filmed? They came in and spoke to you? They spoke to
They
the
spoke
drivers?
to Mary first, and my dad was there, and they spoke to a few of the staff members there, and they made a film recording in our office and all that, and they asked questions.
what was it like for you to have the One Show camera shoved in your face?
Oh, it's the first time, and I was really nervous.
Nerve-wracking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
but it
really
was.
nervous, and I thought, I've got to tell, obviously, what we're doing and all that. So we had a lot of camera shy people, but I said, I will try my best, and it is what it is, and I go from there. It's an event that I'm going for. I'm supporting my local community and supporting the Rosemary charity. So I thought, why not? Let's go for it.
Oh, absolutely. And something good for the city.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Do you think it will inspire other taxi firms to do the same? Maybe, I guess that's the hope, or are you just like, we need to do it ourselves, let's concentrate on us first?
Yeah, but obviously it's all about Goldstar.
Yeah.
We want to concentrate on ourselves. There's other taxi companies out there, they do well, they do their own thing, but we wanted to be a bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, Goldstar is very different to any other taxi company. The reason is, when you ring Goldstar Taxis, like today I was there in the morning, and one of the operators answered the phone. He goes, "Hello Mary, how are you?" She goes, "I'm fine, thank you." I said, "Picking you up from A to B, where are you going?" "You're going for a hairdresser appointment." "Ah, thank you Mary, have a good time." So half an hour to 1 hour passed. Mary was done from the hairdresser. She rang back. She goes, he answered again, "Mary, how was it?" And all that. They were blow drying the hair in the background. And she's getting her taxi booked. Within 5 minutes, she got picked up. And we've got our staff been there for me for years, obviously working. We've got that bond with our customers, that connection. If they need anything, if they're stuck or anything like that, we help them out. So it's more like a community-based
personal touch.
Yeah, we've got a personal touch.
Yeah.
With the other cab companies, I don't think you'd get that. They'll just say, where from, where you going to, 5-10 minutes, your taxi will be outside. With Goldstar, we try to be a little different from our competitors.
So let's discuss Uber versus taxis. Now,
yes.
when John mentioned before we started recording that he sometimes gets Ubers, you were like, "What? How dare you say
And living
that?"
in Peterborough, getting Uber.
I'm not in this city, I
John,
don't tend to.
What's your advantage in your experience of Uber versus taxis?
The reason I tend to use it is when I'm going into a city that I don't know. I like being able to see where the cars are around me. I like the map. I like the fact that it tells me, and you're probably going to tell me that you do this as well.
We do it better.
You probably do. I like the fact that I can, when I'm abroad, I use Uber. I used it a lot in Germany in the summer, in Qatar for the World Cup 2-3 years ago. I could order the car. It tells me exactly how much it's going to cost me to get from A to B. I see where the car is around me. I get in. I know the name of the driver, and I know the registration plate of the car. And then we do it. And it just seems very simple. And I'm assuming that a lot of taxi companies do exactly the same. I guess it's familiarity with me through going through that process first with Uber.
Okay, so that's the case for Uber. Faz, what's the case to not use Uber in your opinion?
I just want to say quick one thing you just mentioned. What if you leave your mobile phone behind in that Uber taxi? What would you do?
I'd be in trouble. And I don't know. I mean, I'd hope that it wouldn't happen, but yeah, if it does happen, I guess if I'm on my own, which I'm assuming that through that, I really don't know. I really don't know. And the problem is, now you mention it, I wouldn't be able to remember what the registration plate was or the name of the driver.
Listen, that point's made. Any more?
Okay, so example, he called a Goldstar taxi from certain address to the certain drop-off area, and he left his phone behind. But he knows it was Goldstar. He hasn't got his phone next to him.
Now, listen, I take that point on board. But moving on from that, so that's a really big point of difference. Yeah. Are there any other examples of why you think using a taxi is better than using an Uber?
Yeah, there's a few more other options. Uber charge surge. Surge is, Kev, what happens is when it's busy, they tend to put their price hike up to 20%, 30%. With the local taxi firms, very rare. With us, you're not going to get that. We're not going to charge you a surge or an extra. Our prices are fixed. They're the same prices at 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, or midnight at night. We charge the same prices. So our prices don't jump up and down.
On average, is it about the same to get a taxi or get an Uber?
Uber is more expensive. Uber, probably what Uber does, they come into an area, they give you that 30 or 40 or 50% discount. And what they do is they bring the customers together. So, and what they try to do is, with the local companies, they try to, basically, they try to suffocate the local competition. So basically what they try to do is, they try to get all the customers and try to take the other firms out.
By charging low prices initially and then putting them up. Okay.
And they give drivers priority and all that certain stuff.
One would hope there's room for everybody.
I mean,
I think it's a service that's there and easy and usable for people. But I think all of the points that Faz has made are very, very important. You need that local feel, that community feel, that trust with a company that you know and have maybe used for years and years.
Yeah, well, there was two things I was going to say. You were talking about the surge pricing. I definitely suffered for that. A few weeks ago, I was in Manchester in the evening, and it was the night actually that Tyson Fury was fighting a Manchester guy, so it was very busy. We tried to book an Uber, and it was clearly more expensive than it would have been. Secondary, you were talking about, you used the phrase, let's say older person. There's no way they're going to use Uber. Traditional
old dears,
landline.
That's his words. Old dears.
Yes.
Well, like my mother, Elizabeth, 77. There is no way in hell that she would use Uber. She likes the landline. She knows to pick it up, and she rings up her taxi company, and they say, "Hello, Mrs. Baker, how are you?" And then they know exactly where she is because they've been through it. So, and that is what the companies like Goldstar have over. I know, faceless Uber. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's
tell us about Goldstar's history. How long has that company been going in Peterborough?
Goldstar was established 2002 by my lovely middle brother. He worked tirelessly, very, very hard, Kev. He was a very, very hard worker. He started the company. Well, my dad and him were involved together, but my dad didn't want nothing to do with taxis. He got us the place, but he was doing taxis before, and he goes, "This is not for you." And I was young, I used to go to school, so I used to go there the weekend sometimes and see the phones ringing and then shouting on the radio, pens there, his burger and chips on there, chili sauce all over his hands, and customers coming in, "Can I have a taxi please, where are you going to?" and all that. And I thought, this is something I want to do, and I went for it. And what happened is, then I had another older brother. He used to go to university, so he used to come on his backpack every weekend to the office straight away to help my brother. Remember, Kev, we never had nobody when we started the company. It was my brother, and he had few operating staff. He couldn't even afford to pay their wage, basically. So what we'd done is, for the drivers, we used to have drivers join us. After 1 week, they used to leave us. They said, "You've got no phones ringing here. What's the point coming to you guys? We'd rather go to somewhere." There was two or three dominant companies there that were very busy, and they used to just leave us. So we used to put a sticker on their car. Within 30 seconds, the stickers were ripped off. "We're going, we're leaving you." And we used to charge free rent. We never used to charge them rent. So basically, for a year, my brother worked free. So actually, when after that, the game changed for us. We invested in a computerized system. It was Data Master. The beautiful thing about Data Master was it sends customers a text when your taxi's arrived. So the customers were buzzing off that. So because there was another
John, just as a taxi user, and I would agree with this, getting that message is a reassuring thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing around or looking out your window every 5 minutes, or you might not even be obviously at your home. So of course you need
so that
that
system
now.
changed Goldstar
changed
as a company.
Definitely, the customers start coming into us because of the text, and then we bought another company called Diamond Cars. They were based in Warrington. They had a few good contracts, and we joined it together, and then we went to a fleet of 80 cars. And then gradually from 81, 82, 83, we kept building. Now we've got to 323, 324. I'm not exactly sure, 100%. I'm not.
Over 320 vehicles
Yes.
make up Goldstar.
Yes.
Wow, that's a big company.
Yeah, it is. And I guess one of your other changes will be when like sat navs and that sort of maps arrived. That made a big change, I should think.
Oh, that made a big... Before, when, example, if somebody called a taxi and the driver's lost, and we used to have a map, and we used to say to him on the radio, turn left, turn right. He goes, no, turn right. And then you got the customer shouting on the phone, where's my taxi? It's been 15, 20 minutes. What's going on? I'm not going to use you anymore. We used to get all sort of kind of earfuls like that. But now it's just changed. You've got a smartphone. So example, if you guys want to come and join us, I'll give you an example. You've got your badge and all the MOT and all that. So we'll put the system on your phone, and it's the app, and you will just get all the information. You get a job, Kev will get a job and says pick up from here to here, name is Kev, paid cash or card. That's the difference between us and Uber. Also, we charge cash and card. Uber just charge card payments.
Card only.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting insight to the history of Goldstar Taxis.
Yeah.
And Faz, let's just wrap up, but take it back to the fact that you've been featured on the Warren Show. We're unsure of the broadcast date, but look out for it. You can get it on the iPlayer. It's already been on. And I wish you well with this hunt for finding more female taxi drivers in Peterborough. What should a female who wants to potentially look into being a taxi driver with you, what should be their pathway to do that?
Okay, there's a few options. On our social media page on Facebook, we've got a link there. It says Think Pink. They can click that link, or they can go on the Think Pink website. If they type in Think Pink Taxis, straight away it'll bring to the website. There'll be a link. Click the link. Just fill the form in. Doesn't matter if you just want to inquire or you want to come to our office for a cup of tea or anything. We had people coming from Oakham, Stamford, Leicester. Somebody come from all the way Leicester. So I said to him, it's going to be too far for you. I've got a friend in Leicester. Why don't you work for him? So see, I helped somebody else there also. So I could have said, oh no, you work for us, but her travelling to Leicester, to Peterborough every day, it's not going to be worth it for her. I said, why don't you just work for a local company? I've got somebody there who can help you. They took the badge. I think she's on road today, it's her first day.
Yeah,
so I'm going to drop her a text and see how you got on. So
Think Pink online, people can find the info.
Yeah, and all the info's there, everything's there, and it's for a good cause, and just come to Goldstar. We'll look after you. We'll take care of you. Whatever you guys
You're a family business.
You've got a family business.
Yeah, that's important to say.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. Anybody that wants to join, of course.
Well, thank you very much,
Super,
Faz, for
thank
sharing
you.
all
No
that with
problem.
us.
You're
Good to meet you again.
Yeah.
And that's it for Faz Ali and Goldstar.
Yeah, another great guest on the show. So yeah,
another good guest, and there will be more guests as we continue on the Peterborough podcast in future episodes. Thanks for downloading and listening to this one. And I think before we finish, you wanted to mention that we've got a new email address.
Yes, correct. peterboroughpodcast@gmail.com. So if you would like to be a guest or you'd like to make some comments about us, peterboroughpodcast@gmail.com, and we will be in touch as soon as we can.
And we will see you next time.